Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
We have Samantha Bailey with us today. She's an actress, model, and social media influencer based in Los Angeles, California. She is best known for her series regular role as Summer Newman on The Young and the Restless. She is also widely known for her recurring role as young Rebecca Quinn on Just Add Magic on Amazon Prime, and also her role as a young Christian Chenoweth in the movie Pushing Daisies. Most recently, you can see her starring in the new feature film One Night in San Diego.
And we're excited to have her on the show, so
yes, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I always like to start the show out kind of same way. Past couple years have been rough for a lot of people, but especially in entertainment. So how has the pandemic affected you, and what have you done to kind of maneuver through this?
Well, in the beginning, it was definitely rough with the harsh, just cut down of everything. But I think it definitely gave me a lot of time to focus on myself and my own growth. So when everything did open back up, I was even more ready and prepared to go out there and audition again.
Yeah, that's like with us, we launched this show January of 2020.
Yes.
So a couple months before everything happened. And I remember our original plan was 100 interviews first year. I thought it'd be great foundation. And then everything shuts down and we're like, oh God, what do we do? And then I realized, well, it could be a blessing in disguise for us because people like you're going to still need a place to talk. And now you're free to do it, at that time. And so we just reached out to anybody and everybody. And we did over 300 interviews that first year. We're over 500 now.
That's crazy. That's exciting though. I'm glad you guys were able to find that outlet because also during the pandemic, I also found my love for writing and directing.
Oh, wow.
So since I had so much more time on my hands, my friend and I put together a little mini series and we're still working on that now. So I think had that not happened, I may not have found that right away and it may have taken me longer. So I'm glad there's little happiness in it somewhere,
You just got to find it.
Lining.
Yeah.
That's like with us, I don't know if we would still be doing the show, at least not at the level we're doing it at if it weren't for all that. Because again, at the beginning when we launched this, I would have never reached out to a lot of the bigger actors and artists out there at the beginning. So because of that, a lot of them were saying yes. So we brought them a lot on, and that kind of built the foundation.
Good timing there.
Awesome.
So, a lot of people would ask, when did you know you wanted to become an actress? But I like to go deeper than that. When did it actually click for you that this could be a career?
Well, so it's so funny. So when I was 4.5 years old, my mom said that I begged her for 6 months straight that I wanted to be on TV. That's what I wanted to do. And my family's not quite from entertainment industry. They've done some stuff here and there, but they're not really too into it. So for me to say that I wanted to be on TV was a big deal. And once we finally figured it all out and got me a manager and got me an agent, and I think it was the first or second time I was on a set, and I was little, so I don't really remember too much.
Yeah.
But I remember just being so excited and being I'm doing something. And then when I first saw myself on the TV or on the screen, I did a couple commercials here and there. I remember that was just this is what I want to do. And I'm living my dream basically. And it's continued ever since then.
Oh, wow.
Just that same excitement.
So how did the role of Summer land for you back years ago?
Well, so I was I think I was 7 or 8. We had done a couple auditions. And then I remember getting the call and my mom telling me you booked something and it's big. And I didn't quite understand what that meant, And I remember the first day on set being oh, this is a whole production. This is much bigger than what I've done before. And I was on that for 3 years, and just every day on set was a new experience, and everyone on there was truly family to me.
Oh, wow.
Which that made all the nerves and everything so much easier.
I guess they made summer grow so fast that your part had to outgrow you.
They did. It was funny. I think
Yeah.
I was about 9 or 10. I think Summer was a little younger when I was on it.
Mhm.
And I had went off to like a slumber party or something. I hang out with my friends, and then a couple episodes later, I came back like 18.
That's crazy.
Soap opera time is so funny.
Yes, that's what's so.
Yeah, because you'd probably still be doing it if they'd have kept it with the right time.
Right? Yeah. I always tell them, I'm like, if you ever need me to come back, you know, if you're aging up one of the little ones,
Yes.
I'm like, I'm always here, right?
Yes,
I love that.
Love it.
You know, a lot of people, they see the glory in what you do, but they don't see the grind, the sacrifice, the tears, the struggles it takes to be at your level and above. And I always like to talk about that side of it, because I think a lot of times people kind of gloss over this, and they think if you got talent, you'll make it. We both know that's not true. There's so much that goes into this, and so much work that goes into this, so much sacrifice. So take a few moments and let's talk about some of the sacrifices and struggles you've had to go through in your career so far.
Well, I think learning to accept the rejection was something that was really hard for me for a while, and it's still every now and then. You know, I send in audition after audition after audition, and then sometimes you don't hear anything from it, and sometimes you're told no. So I think that hearing nothing from it is kind of more hard than them just telling you no. So definitely learning to accept that, and you know, the right role will come when it's ready. You'll get that yes eventually. Something else is I was never, because of acting and auditions and everything, I was homeschooled my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So I never went to like a public school. So in parts of me, I'm like, well, what did I miss out on? You know, having that like in school experience. But also I think the turn of that is all the experiences I did get.
Yeah, that most people don't get.
Rather than sitting in a classroom. So that's kind of one of those, like, it's kind of hard. It's a toss up, you know?
Because, you know, a lot of people that went through school is probably like, I'll trade places with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I did go to college. I went to in-person college for a year before COVID, before it shut it down, and I was back online school. So,
well, the good thing is when you went to online school, you were like, okay, I'm used to this.
Yeah. Once they were like, we're all going online, I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm used to it.
Yeah, that's like we homeschool our 10-year-old. And I remember we got put down a lot for that through the years. And I remember when COVID happened, that all of a sudden everything was shutting down, and we're like, well, he ain't got to change nothing.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So how do you being from a younger generation and also a social media influencer, you're in the spotlight, not just through acting, but through social media and all that too. Social media wasn't around when we were young. So thank God we didn't have to worry about all this. But how do you, as a young woman, handle the bullying and troll side of things?
So my page, I really try and focus on like positivity, and it's very much of a motivational kind of type of vibe. So thankfully I'd like to say on most of my stuff, I don't really get a lot of bullying, but there are a few things here and there where it's just kind of like, I try not to like interact with it too much. Because I feel like that almost makes it worse in some case. But I have learned to accept, like, when it does happen, I just kind of like brush it off. Like they're just saying things to try and get a reaction.
Yeah, we love the ban button.
Oh yes, it's useful.
Yeah. Just to delete the comment.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the sacrifice a little bit and all that. Let's flip the script and go the other way. What are a few wow moments for you? And I know Young and Restless was one of them, but let's go outside of that. What are a few things you've done that you're like, wow, I got to do that?
When I was part of Young The Restless, I got to go with them to the Daytime Emmy Awards.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And that was definitely like a wow. And that, you know, I got to walk the carpet and everything. So that was like a big moment of like, I was invited to this. Like, this is exciting. And there's been some other like events here and there where I'm like, this is cool. And when I was telling you earlier about how my friend Jax Malcolm and I did a little mini series, we went to a film festival last November, and we had our show put up in the theater. And afterwards, we ended up winning Best Comedy Series and Best Actress, Best Actor for him for our show. So that was definitely like another like wow moment. Like, I did that, you know?
Yes.
Love that. And, you know, as you know, people see you, but they don't see the team behind you. In our opinion, teams never get any love.
Don't.
On our show, they get a little love. So take a few moments and tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
My team. So my manager is ESI Network. My agent is AEFH, and they have been with me literally since I started at Foreign. They have been with me through it all. They believe in me. They support me. It's really nice to have that base and that support behind me, as well as my family who, you know, I have my car now, thankfully. But, you know, when I was little, my mom would be working. So, you know, my grandma had to take me into my auditions, or my aunts or my dad, or it was just kind of like we had a group chat and it was like, who can take Sam to the audition today? So that was definitely like all the work and all the effort that they've put in to help me get to where I am is definitely very appreciated. And it's one of those, like, I don't know how I can repay that, but I'll figure it out at some point.
So tell us a parent story. You probably got 1,000 of them, but tell us a story that kind of stands out where they went above and beyond for your career. And you're like, wow, they really get, this is my passion.
My parents? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, that's a tricky one. There's so many. Oh dear. What am I? Well, so, oh my gosh, what was it? Well, my dad goes to some events with me every now and then. And I really, because he works late at night. So when he is available to go with me to my stuff, it's really a special moment for him to see what I do, because he hears a lot what I do. And, you know, he shares my stuff on Facebook, and he supports me there. But when he actually gets to like go with me to the events is very special. My mom takes me to the events too, which is always super nice. And I think just them seeing that I'm happy, and, you know, if I'm telling them a story and they're involved with it and they're actually listening and being like, oh, that was really cool. Like, I didn't know that you could do that. So that's some of the things where I like watching their faces of like, yeah, this is what I did today.
Now, I'm sure at the beginning, of course, when you wanted to become an actress and all that, I know that they wanted to see if they could make it work, but their thoughts were probably different in different areas of that time. But as things started progressing for you, what were their thoughts then? How were they like, whoa, she's actually doing this?
Yeah. So at first they were kind of like, oh, like a lot of that is like scam stuff. And they weren't sure if it was like actually legit. Like, you know, there's always those places out there that are like, become an actress. So the fact that we were able to find somebody that was like legit and like they were cool and they wanted to help me get there. And once I started like doing things and they were like, oh, this is actually working. They were very excited. I was very excited that it was working too. You know, I was so little though. And they've always been super, super positive about that, of like, as long as I'm having a good time with it, I can keep doing it. As soon as my mom was always saying, like, if you ever hate it, if you ever don't want to do this anymore, if this ever like isn't fun, like, you don't have to do it. Like, you can just stop. Like, we don't. And thankfully I've never had the moment where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. So that's why we've just kept going.
And here you are today, still thriving.
Exactly. And I've loved it ever since. I'm like,
because that's one of the things about this type of thing, whether you're an artist or an actor. If you don't love it, it's going to be really tough because it's so much work that goes. People don't. People see the finished product on the TV and stuff, but they don't see the work behind the scenes and everything you got to go through, the 12-15 hour days and all. They don't see none of that. So if this is not a passion, you're better off going somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you don't love it, why are you doing it?
Because there are better ways to make money, that's for sure.
Exactly. And it's one of those, there's plenty of other people that want to be doing it too. So
that too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our little 10-year-old that we bring on and ask a couple questions. So Sandy's
been on almost every show.
I'll
get it.
One benefit of homeschooling is he can be on the shows too.
I love it.
So while we're waiting for her to get home, and we got a 3-year-old that when she gets older, she'll be plugged into the show too, because we keep it in the family.
I love it.
So what's next for you?
What's next? So I've been auditioning quite a bit. We're working on a few projects, hopefully. And then, like I said, my friend Jackson and I were planning on continuing our mini series, and hopefully are gonna release that to everyone soon. We're trying to get it picked up by a couple places.
Oh wow!
So fingers crossed for that one too.
He's the floating head. He's got a green shirt on.
Oh no!
Hi Samantha. So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. I really like sushi. Anything seafood. Ever since I was little, I've been obsessed. We went on a cruise once, and I literally did not eat anything but like fish and shrimp and everything that whole week.
Because what's yours?
My favorite food is pizza.
Ooh, pizza's good. What kind of pizza?
Pepperosos and supreme and pineapple.
He's got 4 different faves.
Best. My favorite Hawaiian barbecue pizza.
Ah,
that
sounds good.
It is.
All
right, so what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show. Ooh, let's see. Oh my gosh, I have so many. My mom and I loved watching Bones.
Ah.
That one was a really good show. I think there was like 9 or 10 seasons of it. We always like binge it, and then we rewatch it every now and then.
And what is yours?
Mine is SpongeBob.
I love SpongeBob too. That's always a good one.
That's that. I can't believe they still got new ones coming out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about the characters there lasted a lifetime there.
Right. It's so funny, and it's still relatable.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Talladega Nights. I love that one. I'm a trophy girl at a couple of racetracks for NASCAR, so I feel like that movie is just so funny, and it's too good.
And what's yours?
My favorite movie is Minions.
Minions! I love Minions. I love the ride at Universal, the Minions ride.
He hasn't been on that yet.
We
need to go. He hasn't visited
that.
Right.
Bye, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, he loves to be on this. In fact, probably end of this year or so, we're gonna get him prepared to do his own little show.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
It'll be called Chit Chat with Chris. We already got the domain and everything.
I love it.
And it's gonna be like him talking with celebrities for 10 minutes.
Nice.
That way, I know that most of them will say no, but some will say yeah, and because again, it's only 10 minutes. So.
There we go.
And with him being 10 years old, see, that's what we're playing into his age. He's been 10, so.
I like it.
So, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Where do I want to be in 5 years? Well, let's see. I mean, like, if it would be possible, one of those like nominated for like an Oscar or something. But if that were to come, you know, but 5 years, I feel like I just want to like keep working on myself and seeing what comes. And if something does come like that, that would be amazing. But also just like doing whatever I can and growing myself to be the best me possible. And then if I can start working on like getting more into writing and directing and maybe like producing my own stuff too. So hopefully in 5 years I could just be doing it all, you know?
So let's look further down the road and say 15 years and your success on a grand scale, whatever that looks like for you, you've made it. What do you hope you never forget?
I hope that I would never forget like who I am and what, you know, my morals are. And my mom always jokes with me and she's like, you know, you got to stay grounded. You still got to take out the, you know, the kitchen trash. Like I never want to be like one of those that are too full of themselves. I want to make sure that I stay grounded, and I appreciate everyone that's helped me on the way, and everyone who has helped me gets that love and support back.
What are some things that inspire you?
Some things that inspire me. I'm inspired by so many things. I feel like just like, well, I'm in like a content group. We're called the Sorority Girls. And we're about really just spreading positivity and joy. So I feel like each one of the girls, and we're all so different, but each one of them has their own way of like inspiring me of like, oh, that's what they're doing. Like they're being themselves, or, you know, the way that they said that was very positive. So I feel like anything positive or happy, I feel like really, really just speaks to me and inspires me in that way to like give that back. And like, I hope that I would be able to inspire somebody else in the same way.
Awesome.
Yes, awesome. What would you like for your legacy to be as an actress? What would you like to be known and remembered for?
Let's see. I feel like almost the same thing. Almost just inspiring others to be themselves and living their dreams and going for it and never holding back. Like no fears. Just if it goes, you know, if they say yes, it's great. You know, keep asking until you get a yes, basically.
And if you could say anything to your fans and followers, what would you want to tell them?
Let's see. So there's obviously we talked about it earlier. There's all the hate and negativity online, but I feel like to really push through that, be yourself, spread joy, spread love, and always stay true to yourself.
You know what's funny, when you talked about the rejection and keep going until you get a yes, I actually got a story where there was one of the guests we were trying to get on the show, and I emailed, and they have to pass at that time, and we get a ton of those every month. So I'm used to that. Getting, you know, we get probably 100 rejections a month that they'll pass, but I know that future will eventually come on. Yeah. And this particular artist was, you know, every month I would email back. And then nope, they'll pass. Email back a month later. So I did that about 6 months straight. And then finally the manager of him said, look, even if I could get you an interview with them, it would, you know, it wouldn't be 45 minutes. It had to be 5 or 10 minutes. He doesn't do long interviews. So I didn't hear the 5-minute part. I emailed back, said, well, we can do 10 minutes. And so we get, again, it was one of them things with persistence. It was like, you know, 6 months, every month. I emailed like, because a lot of the people that I'll email every month.
Yeah.
Because eventually some are going to say, yeah.
Exactly.
Because we go through the same thing that you go through, a lot of rejection. And then the few yeses that do come, we enjoy. It creates a really great show, like with you coming on the show and stuff. And it's really awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And thank you again for having me.
So what's your, what has been your hardest role to play?
My hardest role? Let's see. So I almost want to say when I was Summer Newman on Young The Restless, that presented a lot of new things to me that I think were challenging at the time. Because I was so young, and the way soap opera acting works, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but you don't get your script, or at least I didn't get my script of my lines for the day until that morning. Most of the time. So I would show up to set at 7 or 8 a.m. with a page of lines, and I would have to be memorized and ready to go by when we started filming at noon.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So that was definitely something that I had to be like, okay, I need to learn how to memorize lines really quickly. And I need to learn how to do that while being the character too, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it was good though, because I feel like almost we became like the same person almost. So it wasn't really like I felt like I was playing a character. It was more me.
Yeah. So what was so what did you learn about yourself through that role?
What did I learn about myself?
I know you were young then, but you know, I'm sure you can remember a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I learned that, you know, I can do it. Because I think at first I was a little nervous or a little scared of like, this is a lot. This is overwhelming. This is a lot to do. But over time, it was definitely like, no, I can do it if I put my mind to it. And so I feel like, and from that experience, I've been able to transfer that to the other roles that I've done. And like, if there is a paragraph of lines, I'm like, I can learn this. I can do this. And it's not scary.
Wow.
Or as scary.
That's like when we launched the show, we had no idea we could do this. So,
Yeah.
and she thought I was crazy when I said,
definitely
I had the idea to launch, you know, but again, we, you know, and she wouldn't do video at the beginning. So we started out as audio. And then we finally moved to video in October of that year, and we've been doing video ever since.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's just really a lot of just a self-confidence type of learning experience of all of it.
Yeah, because once you do it, then you can say, okay, like you said, okay, I can do this. Now I just got to figure out how to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you never know what you can do until you actually do it, and then you're like, "Oh, I got this."
I know. I surprise myself sometimes. I'm like, "Oh."
So, what's been your most fun role?
My most fun role. Let's see. So I did a movie called Emerson Heights. And my character in it was fun because in the beginning of the movie, she was like, I think she was like 13, I think. And then by the end of the movie, she was like 15, 16. So I really got to play like, it was like the little sister role. And I have a little sister. I don't have any older siblings. So getting to play that, like, I'm the little sister. And she was kind of a little like bratty. So I think that was definitely super fun. I had a scene at the end where I almost like, my brother was talking and I kind of like was angry at him. And I had a whole little like paragraph getting to like put him in his place. And then I like got up and like stormed out. So I feel like that was super fun getting to play because I hadn't really gotten that like teenager role before. But like bratty. I thought it was very fun.
Love that. Yes. So if you could co-star with any actor or actress, who would it be and what role would you want to play?
I always say I really want to work with Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he's so amazing, and he's really an inspiration to me because every role and every movie that he's done is different. Nothing's ever the same. Like his acting's different. The character, the way he takes it on is just so different. So I feel like getting to work with him would definitely be a lot of learning, which would be super cool to do. As for what the character would be, I don't know. I mean, maybe like his like daughter or something, or maybe like a, you know, let me see, like the bad guy almost, but like he doesn't know that it's a kid. I feel like that would be a fun type of. I don't know if they've done that before. All right.
Awesome.
That would be cool.
Mhm.
So what's a movie or show that you've watched that you wish you had a role in?
What have I watched? I think when I watched The Hunger Games, I really wanted to be in that. I think that one was so fun. Like the action in it was super fun, and I also do a little bit of archery on my own.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm like,
Okay.
that would be so much fun. It looks like an amazing movie, and I love all those movies so much.
Love that.
Mhm.
So as we start to close out here, this is kind of a two-part question. Both kind of go, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But if, what advice would you give that person that wants to do what you do?
So, as I've kind of talked about before, this industry is hard, and there's a lot to think about. There's a lot going on, and it may seem overwhelming at first. But if you take it slow and you just focus on yourself and never give up and just keep going, I feel like if you don't let it get to you, then it definitely gets a lot easier once you get to the point of you're prepared and you're ready. Once you're prepared and ready, then you can basically do anything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, because you've grew up in the industry, what advice would you give that parent who has a child that wants to do what you do?
Well, I mean, I don't know what my mom's gonna think, but I say let them go for it. It's been the most exciting thing that I've done, and I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be from a young age. So, when people ask me like, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was always a dead answer of, I want to be an actress.
Wow.
I want to do it. This is what I want to do.
Mhm.
It was never questioning. So I think my parents giving me that opportunity to really like find myself was something that, I'll forever be grateful for.
I love that. So as we close out, tell everybody how they can find you.
So on Instagram, I'm at Samantha A. Bailey 1. And then on all other platforms, I'm Samantha A. Bailey.
Love it. And, we
Awesome,
really
yeah.
enjoyed having you today. And we
We did.
definitely look forward to having you back down the road.
Yes, thank you so much. This was
It
so
was
much
our
fun.
pleasure.
Yes. Thanks for your time today.
Awesome. Thank you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.